Just 3 more championship cases, 2 of them going to be today. The first one's going to be, right now, Austin Cindric. The next one will be Alex Bowman. So yes, Austin Cindric, the Rookie of the Year, he's already clinched it. Won his first ever race as a full-time Cup Series driver in the Daytona 500 back in February. On the season, he has, as I said, the win, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 1 stage win. So that is Austin Cindric's rookie season so far. So, I mean, it's hard to base off of his previous results because most of these tracks he's either had 1 start or he's never started there in the Cup Series. So that'll make it a little bit more difficult, but he is in Penske equipment. He's had some success in the Xfinity Series, winning the championship back at 2020. So we'll be able to somewhat base off of that. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So a really good qualifying result today for Darlington. He starts 6th tomorrow, showed a lot of speed. His teammate won there in the spring, as you all know, with moving William Byron. But, if he can bring that speed that his teammate Joey Logano brought in the spring, but also this week, Logano's on pole once again. Cindric is 6th. If he can run in the top 10, I think that would be huge for him. He doesn't have the playoff points to help him right now, so if he does advance, he's going to need some more of those. But for Darlington, if he can just run top 10, I think that would be a huge, huge help, able to, gap himself from that cutoff line. Second race is at Kansas, where he was the top finishing Ford in the spring, finished 11th. So if he can, do that again, be top 15-ish after a good run at Darlington, that would be good for him. And then as for Bristol, Team Penske has a good history at Bristol. Logano's won there a few times. Brad Keselowski, when he drove the 2, he won a few times. Ryan Blaney, even though he hasn't won, he's led a lot of laps there. So Penske has a lot of success at Bristol. So if Cindric can just put together some good top 10, top 15 runs, other people will have trouble. He'll outrun some people. So I think that'd be good enough to get out of that first round. And if he gets out of that first round, I think he's honestly a favorite to get to the third round because that second round suits him very well. You look at those next 3 races, Texas, Talladega, and the Roval. Texas, he was top 5 in the Texas All-Star race, was up front most of the day. He finished 3rd, I believe. So he looked really, really good there. As for Talladega, of course, he has a super speedway win. Team Penske is great at super speedways, whether it's Blaney, Keselowski, Logano, and now Cindric, who already has a super speedway win in his career. And then as for the Roval, Austin Cindric is a great road course racer. He showed it in the Xfinity Series. He has shown it in the Cup Series this year. He has a few top 5s at road courses. He has led laps at road courses. So if he can make it to that round of 12, I really do think he can make it into the round of 8 because I think those 3 tracks right there are really, really good tracks for him. Just because, whether it's his history there, his short history there in the Cup Series, or Team Penske's history, as I said, with the super speedways, I think that could be huge for him. He could have a lot of help, and there are a good amount of Fords that would help him for sure too. But that second round actually I think favors Austin Cindric a good bit, just with how the schedule lays out and which tracks there are. As for the round of 8, I think that will be a little bit more tricky. Ford as a whole has not really done great at intermediate tracks this year. They've been dominated by Toyota. Chevrolet has also won there or run up front there. So they have been steps ahead of Ford in terms of the mile and a halves. But when it comes to Martinsville, Cindric's done well at Martinsville before in the Xfinity Series. He's run up front there. But Ford in the spring didn't do too great. Or not Ford. Toyota didn't do too great. So I think Ford has a slight advantage over them. As for Chevy, not so much. You saw Chase Elliott and William Byron dominate that race. A lot of Chevys up there in the top 5, top 10. But Joey Logano, Cindric's teammate, did finish runner-up in the spring. So, Ford and Team Penske, just like Bristol, they've led a lot of laps. They've won there. Multiple drivers, Keselowski and Logano, have won there, been up front. As for Blaney, it's literally the same thing as Bristol. He's led a ton of laps there. He's run up front. He's finished in the top 5. He just hasn't gotten a win yet. As for Cindric, he finished 11th in that race in the spring. Both of his teammates in the top 5. I already said Logano runner-up. Blaney was in 4th. So it's possible. Team Penske's going to bring speed there. They're going to bring speed to these short tracks. They're going to bring speed, to tracks that require more braking, it seems like, the road courses and the short tracks. So if Cindric can get to this round of 8, which I think if he gets out of that first round, he has a really good shot because of those tracks in the round of 12. That round of 8 is going to be tough. Vegas and Miami are going to be tough for him. But Martinsville, it could be a must-win due to the lack of points. But I could see it happening. I think it's still a long shot, but it could happen. And in this championship case, I think it would require Cindric to win at Martinsville. And if he wins at Martinsville to go to the championship 4, aiming to be a rookie winning the NASCAR Cup Series title, can he do it? It'll be tough, but Phoenix is a good track because Ford looked great there in the spring. Chase Briscoe, the guy who won that race in the spring, led over 100 laps. Austin Cindric's teammate Ryan Blaney led over 140-something laps. So Phoenix is a great track for Ford and also Team Penske. As I said, Blaney looked dominant there in the spring. Logano has won there a couple of times. So Phoenix is actually a good track for Ford, Team Penske, and if Austin Cindric gets there, I think he has a pretty decent shot. And then obviously there's the thing I always say, top 3 could wreck out. Cindric could win. But on the downside, he finished 24th in the spring, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, if he's the only Team Penske guy in there, or if he's one of the 2, I don't think all 3 Penske guys make it, then he'll have some extra focus, some extra help potentially from the one who's not in or both who are not in, and all the teams, of course, trying to get Austin Cindric to a championship. So yeah, that's the championship case for Austin Cindric. To wrap it up, first round, you just got to be consistent. Top 10, top 15. Other guys are going to have problems. You cannot have any problems. You don't have the points to mess around. Second round is actually a favorable round for Cindric. Texas, he did really good at the spring. There's a super speedway and a road course, 2 tracks that Cindric has done well on so far. And then as for the third round, it may come down to a must-win at Martinsville, but Team Penske and Ford have been really good there in the past few years. And then as for that championship race, anything can happen. But on the bright side for Cindric, Ford, Team Penske have looked really, really good there as of recent years. So that is the Austin Cindric championship case. A kind of shorter one, I know, but it's a difficult one, But he is a rookie. If he could be a rookie to win the championship, wouldn't that be a story? But next is Alex Bowman. We will talk about him. I'll post that later tonight. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. We got the Dutch Grand Prix, the Austin Dillon Championship case, and the Southern 500. That's going to be a fun day.